Welcome to episode 2 of the Dark Deception Monsters and Mortals DLC showcase. When you see one of these videos drop, it means one thing: new content for Monsters and Mortals, expanding the roster of available characters and stages via crossovers with other horror games. Today we are announcing the second crossover available later this month, Silent Hill. For those unaware of Silent Hill and its prestigious legacy within the horror genre, let's take a quick look at the history of the series. First released in 1999, Silent Hill managed to differentiate itself from other horror games with its strong focus on psychological horror and adult themes rarely tackled by game developers at the time. We explored the dark and misty streets of the titular town, Silent Hill, and encountered all manner of strange and disturbing monsters along the way. While all connected, each sequel in the Silent Hill franchise explored a different kind of torment and madness, each game pushing the horror genre into uncomfortable and exciting new territory. This setting and its iconic legacy makes Silent Hill an exciting addition to the ever-growing roster of crossovers Dark Deception Monsters and Mortals is honoured to showcase. Now we know a little about the Silent Hill franchise, let's take a look at the content included in this upcoming DLC pack for Dark Deception Monsters and Mortals. 2 monsters and 2 mortals will be added to your collection. The monsters included are the Nurse and Robbie the Rabbit. The Nurse is an iconic enemy found throughout the Silent Hill series since its inception. Here she is represented in her homecoming form. The Nurse's ultimate ability is called Fear Cuts Deep, whereby she summons darkness capable of inflicting fear on all players for 10 seconds. Fear reduces attack damage by 70% and attack speed by 50%. The Nurse also gets a 20% buff to her own damage for the duration of her darkness spell. Robbie the Rabbit made his debut in Silent Hill 3 and is the second monster represented in Monsters and Mortals. If the blood-soaked suit didn't convince you this mascot is hostile, then maybe his ultimate ability will. Robbie uses Rabbit Rampage to summon 3 clones of himself. These clones then follow him about the map, attacking anyone within close proximity for up to 1 minute. If the player controlling Robbie should attack a specific target, then the clones will obediently follow their lead. Next, let us turn our attention to the mortal side. The 2 mortal characters crossing over are Sybil Bennett and Heather Mason. Sybil Bennett is a police officer who first appeared in the original Silent Hill, aiding central protagonist Harry Mason in the location of his daughter. Sybil's weapon of choice is her standard issue sidearm. Her special is called Incapacitate, a gunshot that inflicts 10% damage and zeroes out an opponent's ultimate meter. The ultimate is then unable to recharge for 15 seconds. This makes Sybil the perfect character to weaken enemy defenses, leaving them more vulnerable to attack. Heather Mason is the protagonist of Silent Hill 3, and is in fact a relation to the aforementioned Harry. Heather is spiritually gifted, able to wield an ancient talisman known as the Seal of Metatron, and so it only makes sense for her special ability within Monsters and Mortals to utilise this supernatural talent. Heather's Seal of Metatron ability boosts the entire team's defense. Enemy attacks will do 80% less damage for 10 seconds, and movement speed is buffed by 15%. Heather is therefore a powerful support class, making her an asset to any team. In addition to these playable characters, the DLC grants access to an all-new environment set within the misty streets of the iconic town of Silent Hill itself, dubbed Silent Sacrifice. These streets aren't simply creepy window dressing, they hold several dangers of their own. It wouldn't be Dark Deception without a trap, and in this DLC, that trap comes in the form of the Air Screamers, an enemy from the original Silent Hill. Once summoned to the map, these flying terrors pursue and attack anyone who enter their proximity for a duration of 1 minute. so beware their aerial ambush when you are informed a trap is active. The final piece of the Silent Hill DLC pack comes in the form of a boss enemy I'm sure most of you will be familiar with. Known in the West as Pyramid Head, Monsters and Mortals adopts the original and intended Japanese naming, Red Pyramid Thing. Two of these hulking monstrosities spawn onto the map once summoned via one of the stage's many randomized item boxes. Red Pyramid Thing attacks with his giant sword and also a binding ground pound, which locks anyone within its radius to the spot, resulting in a quick death. These bladed beasts can even teleport dash to close ground quickly on the unfortunate soul targeted at the time. The Silent Hill DLC releases this March for $9.99, and we hope you enjoy exploring those familiar streets once again through a different lens. See you on the battlefield, and thanks for tuning in to episode 2 of the Monsters and Mortals DLC Showcase.